speech was purely political. 2 weeks ago, Obama didn't care about this. 2 weeks ago, he had no strategy. 2 weeks ago, it didn't matter. But there are polls out there, left and right, that are disastrous for Obama. This whole thing last night was political. But to a casual observer, and more importantly, to an American citizen who thinks that every president is out to defend and protect this country and is engaged in seeing to it that this country triumphs, that speech last night sounded Eisenhower, Reagan, not content now, folks. I want to be very... Snerdley's looking at me like he can't believe me. You didn't watch it. And I'm telling you, don't doubt me. Now, having said all this, I'm not by any stretch the only person who is ripping the speech to shreds content-wise. Most everybody is. Well, I'm just talking about the theatrics. I mean, if you're a casual viewer to this thing, it was so markedly different for what... he didn't even get close to making you think he was going to apologize for America, for example. He didn't get close to making you think that he thinks we're responsible for this. He didn't get anywhere close to blaming America last night, but he got practically every important point dead wrong. For example, ISIS is not Islamic. ISIS is not Muslim. Oh, really? Is it a religion in the world that targets innocents for death? Oh, yes, there is. Dead wrong, magnanimously, proudly, loudly wrong. The strategy that he unveiled is a joke. Can I basically tell you what the strategy is? We're going to fly some drones and some jets supporting the Iraqi army. That's it. We are going to train the Iraqi army. See, we're going to train the Iraqi army. Now, 2 weeks ago, the army didn't need to be trained. The point is, if we had not extricated ourselves from Iraq the way Obama did, he had perfectly good status of forces agreement. The main thing you want in a status of forces agreement when you're pulling out of a country like we were out of Iraq, you're going to leave a residual force to protect what you have won. We've done it everywhere. Germany, Japan, you name it. But we didn't in Iraq. And Obama says because he couldn't get a status of forces agreement. And what he claimed he couldn't get was immunity for U.S. soldiers who would engage in post-war combat events. And he says, if you Iraqis are not going to immunize American soldiers, we're not hanging around here. We're not going to have our guys appearing before war crimes tribunals and stuff. But the point is, he did have a status. He got out because of his kook fringe base. He got out because of his campaign in 2000. He got out because that was what he built his campaign on. The entire Democrat Party and the left tried to say that Iraq was ill-timed, unjust, unnecessary, should never have been there. And I find it just ironic as it can be that here we are now about to start the final 2 years of this guy's presidency, and it rests on what he does in Iraq. I think this is some of the juiciest irony I could have come up with. That his presidency, and this, by the way, this is not me. It's some harebrained leftist media analyst that I have here in the audio soundbite roster is saying now that Obama's presidency is going to be judged entirely by what happens here in Iraq. Isn't that juicy? The party, the Democrat Party, this still ticks me off. The Democrat Party, which sought defeat the whole time we were in Iraq, just so they could win an election, just so they could saddle the defeat on George W. Bush. They did everything they could to undermine the troops. They did everything they could to undermine leadership. They did everything they could to undermine morale. They and their willing accomplices in the media, they did everything they could to secure defeat. But they couldn't pull that off before Obama was elected. So Iraq was still going on after he wins. And what is his campaign? And what's his whole identity as a Democrat senator? Iraq stinks. Never should have gone. I'm going to get us out. It was an absolute terrible mistake. Got nothing for it, man. And so he had to get everybody out. And leaving everybody out, Obama gave us ISIS. Obama gave us ISIL. Obama and the Democrat Party. And it's kind of sweet irony now